5 of LSMN Overtime. I'm Abiata Fine, and that's Lyndon Campbell. Today, we'll catch you up on basketball as we near the end of the season, and we've got some district soccer for you.
Let's start off with some basketball. The Flower Mound men's basketball team faced off against the Hebron Hawks this Tuesday in the district matchup. Hebron will kick it off with this high efficiency, including this three from Jalen Jenkins. Flower Mound will answer right back with numerous shots, courtesy of senior point guard Caleb Massey. The game will be back and forth with tons of scoring and defense from both sides. Jenkins will proceed to be the Hawks' leading scorer through the game, keeping Hebron only a couple points back throughout the fourth quarter. Jenkins will head head-to-head with Massey the entire game, with two players going shot for shot, with the rest of the players helping out on offense and defense. Massey and the Jags will end up overpowering Hebron in the fourth quarter with a final crushing block to push the Hawks out of, as Flower Mound will go on and win the game with a final score of 50-44.
Other scores around the district: Marcus took home the victory 72-66 against Coppell. Louisville took down Little Elm 93-85, and the Colony dominated Lone Star with a final score of 83-45. Now let's preview upcoming games this Friday. Flower Mound will take on Geyer, Louisville and Marcus will face off, Hebron will go head-to-head with Coppell, and the Colony will compete against Turner.
The Colony men's basketball has faced some challenges this year after such a successful season last year. I got the chance to talk with their coach and their players about this season. The Colony men's basketball has had to adapt and adjust to this new season.
It might have been something we didn't practice last year, how we practiced. We may have to come up with something new to do practice-wise. We may have to come up with, I know some defensive things we did last year aren't the same this year, and so, and even offensively, new plays, new things, and so we just have to be willing to, like I said, just adapt and adjust.
I'll probably say the preparation is the same, but with harder intensity, because what we did last year is last year, obviously.
Right.
And it got us to where we wanted to be, but not as far as we wanted the outcome to be. You know what I'm saying? So more intensity, just working harder every day. We get in the gym, just trying to get 1% better.
Family has made a huge impact on these players throughout their career.
My family. Almost a year ago today, I lost my grandma, and so ever since then, it's kind of just pushed me to keep going. It gives me a reason to get out of bed every morning.
Knowing that it runs in the family and just trying to make it for my family, because my end goal is just to get to the NBA and be professional, so doing it for my family.
See, I just look up to my dad because he left a footprint for me to follow. He played overseas, and that just inspires me to do that too.
With the success last season, the Colony has faced a lot more pressure from opponents.
It's probably a little harder this year because now we have a target on our backs and people are coming and trying to beat us. We get everybody's best game. There's so many distractions also that happen throughout, whether social media or just different types of distractions. And so this year just trying to take a step back, see where we are, where we need to get to, and then go from there.
These players are staying focused on their goals despite all the outside noise.
I try not to get distracted by all the outside noise. Focus on what we have at hand, just taking it day by day. Worrying about what everyone says about us isn't going to do us no good if we don't worry about what we got, because we know what we can do. So we got to go prove to everybody else, because everybody's writing us off right now.
Developing players on and off the court is very important to Coach Ryan.
The biggest thing that you hope you develop as a coach is some lifelong relationships. I've been blessed to have some great players that have come before, and to stay in touch and contact. That's one of the greatest blessings as a coach, is to see them grow up and be young men, young fathers, and husbands, and those types of things. Those relationships are very important to me.
For LSMN Overtime, I'm Lyndon Campbell.
And now let's head over to our virtual studio with Alex Estrada. Alex, who do we have for this week's Spotlight?
Well, speaking of the Colony men's basketball, this week's Spotlight is Xavier Green. Last Tuesday night on our very own LSMN Game of the Week, the Colony had a monster offensive performance against Highland Park. Green, alongside Dakari Speard, Bryce Dixon, and Thor Grissom, couldn't miss from three, taking the game 74-59. But the main highlight was Green capping off the night, scoring his 1,000th career point at the Colony, even though he's only a junior. Xavier also recorded his first in-game dunk with a huge one-arm slam that if you've not seen, you could check out here on our YouTube channel. Green has tons of D1 scholarship offers in both basketball and football, and is ranked inside the top 10 in Texas with assists 50 on the season. averaging 5 of the game. The Colony men's basketball has a strong 11-2 record in district after a rougher pre-district record and is looking to repeat their success from last year heading into playoffs. For LSMN Overtime, I'm Alex Estrada. Now let's head back to another basketball highlight with Abby.
Flower Mound and Hebron faced off on Tuesday. The Lady Hawks got off to a quick start with 2 quick threes from Monet Brown. Flower Mound star senior Maya Bujak then went on a tear, scoring many of the first half buckets to give the Lady Jags a 6-point lead going into the half. Hebron tried to mount a comeback, but some phenomenal defense by Flower Mound helped secure them a school record 29th season win with a final score of 55-49.
Some more scores this week in women's basketball. Marcus fell short to Capel, 49-31. Little Home took home the victory against Louisville with the final score of 72-53. And the Colony fell to Lone Star, 43-32. Looking ahead for the women, Flower Mound was the only LISD to make the playoffs. Their opponent in bi-district matchup will either be Allen or Plano East, depending on who wins the tiebreaker tomorrow between Allen and Rock Hill. The Jags will play either Monday or Tuesday. For more information, check out the Lady Jags Twitter.
Recently, Flower Mound's men's basketball team brought in a new head coach, Justin Kaufman. Our own Aiden McGee got the opportunity to talk to Coach Kaufman and his players about the new change.
Flower Mound basketball program.
I think the season has been great in terms of just them buying into a new culture, buying into a new way of doing things, and just really new expectations. We owe a lot to the senior class for how they've kind of paved the way and completely, really without question, done what we've asked them to do. And they've kind of showed these younger guys what it should look like, which is huge. The fact that they bought in so quickly, there was no real pushback. And they've worked as hard as they have has led to the success we've had. Now, it isn't as much as we'd want, but again, they've paved the way for future success for years to come.
Coach Kaufman has made a lasting impact on his players, not just on the court, but off the court.
He makes it really easy to have conversations with him. Whatever anybody might think might be going poorly or well, we can always talk to him about it.
He always just tells us to keep our head up. He tells us to stop. I mean, mistakes are part of progress. He tells us that just to see, you have to fail some, and he just keeps picking us up. And he doesn't ever just completely just bash on us. He always just says motivating stuff to try and keep us going.
I would say I like how he pushes us to our limit, and he knows what we need to do, and he helps us be the best version of ourselves.
Flower Mound basketball has turned things around in a big way this year, showing just how far they've come under Coach Kaufman's leadership.
The season's been a lot better than where it has been lately. I mean, last couple of years, 0 district wins, but this year we got 3. It's a good momentum. It should be good for the next couple of years. So I'm excited.
What really excites me and made me happy was to get them some district wins, which they haven't had in the last 2 years. So to kind of send them off in a way where they're proud of what they've done and kind of what they hopefully have led to what's going to happen with Flower Mound basketball. I hope they feel good about that.
For LSMN Overtime, I'm Aiden McGee.
Moving over to soccer, the Marcus Marauders took on the Flower Mound Lady Jags in a district matchup. Marcus kicked off the game quickly, scoring fast on this reader by Madison Rakestraw in the first 10 minutes. Flower Mound's goalie Addison Huber kept the Lady Jags in the game with multiple solid saves and guided the defense throughout the entire night. But inevitably, Marcus's airtight defense, led by goalkeeper Aubrey Tipton, held Flower Mound to 0 goals throughout the full 90 minutes, securing Marcus the shutout victory 1-0. In other women's soccer, Hebron would win 9-0 against Louisville, and the Colony Park fell to Highland Park 5-0.
Moving over to men's soccer, on Tuesday night, the Louisville Farmers and the Hebron Hawks faced off in a district matchup at Brazil Stadium. The Hawks got off to a quick start with 2 goals from freshman Rocco Viana. The Hawks added on another goal to make it 3-0. Hebron's goaltending was fantastic, with goalie Grady Passmore completely shutting down the Farmers' offense throughout the game. With some fantastic saves, later on in the game, Viana completed the hat trick, scoring his 3rd goal of the night to seal a 4-0 shootout win for the Hawks.
Tuesday the 11th, and then a week later on Tuesday the 18th here at home again against Coppell. Everyone have a good night. Drive safe.
For the rest of the updates from men's soccer, Marcus took on Flower Mound on Tuesday, with the Marauders winning 3-1, while the Colony took a loss to Highland Park 7-1. Looking at tomorrow's matchups for both men and women, Hebron will take on Braswell, Marcus will battle Little Elm, the Colony will take on Creekview, Flower Mound will face off against Coppell, and Louisville will take on Geyer. Congratulations to the Flower Mound Wrestling, who completed at the district champions on Thursday. Over a dozen women and men placed with 3 championships: Aiden Henderson, Graham Clipper, and Liam Campbell, moving on to regionals, and the men's team finishing 3rd overall. Today is National Signing Day, where many athletes will select their collegiate program. Good luck and congratulations to everyone who's committed or signed today in LISD. Flower Mound women's and men's swim and dive teams have won districts for the 3rd straight season, with athletes picking up wins in 13 out of 24 events, including May Jaya, who won the men's time finals, finishing with a score of 9. 30 athletes will be moving on to regionals, which is taking place this weekend. Good luck, Jazz. Now for this week's Grad Star, back over to Alex. Alex, what have LISD graduates been up to recently?
Well, Abby, this week's Grad Star is Marcus graduate Nick Donnelly, now a guard at UT Dallas. Donnelly is averaging 13.8 points per game, the most on the team. Throughout the year, Donnelly has accumulated 45 assists with 13 steals and 65 rebounds in his senior year. The guard's all-around skills have helped UT Dallas to a winning record of 13-8 with 4 games to go before they'll have a chance at making the Division II Final Four tournament. If you have a Grad Star you'd like to highlight, make sure to let us know on X, formerly known as Twitter, at LSMN Sports. Now back over to you guys.
That's all for this week's episode. Thanks for tuning in, and go Birds.
Go Birds! I'm Aviara Faine. That's Lyndon Campbell. See you next time, right here on Overtime.